talked about how Stranger Things season 1 is still perfect. I talked about how season 2 is overhated and might not be the worst season, but what I do know is the best season of Stranger Things is season 3. I mean, what do they do wrong in this season? Everything from the vibe of the Starcourt Mall to the friendships that are progressing and the friendships that are made in this season, to the Mind Flayer, to Billy, to the Russian storyline. Everything not only makes sense, but everything is progressing extremely well in the story and the world. How could you not like this season? I mean, the vibes are just at an all-time high with this season. Everything from the colors, the lights, the CGI, the action, everything took a major boost and quality upgrade. You can tell Netflix was making that money from Stranger Things, so they said, hey, I think we're gonna give you guys an extra maybe $40 million worth of budget, and it went to every single piece of wardrobe, every single piece of CGI, every single piece of set work. They were on their motherfucking ish with this season. Which is why I think that this may be the season, other than maybe season 4, maybe, that has the most sauce. So many things in this season stand out. You feel what I'm saying? I already mentioned before, but everything that has to do with the Starcourt Mall, that might be one of the best sets to ever be used. I mean, everything with their clothes, everything with the little set designs like the Coke cans, the Lucky Charms, the fireworks, everything was so thoughtful and so detailed. Netflix, they went all out for this season and they gave it as much sauce as they possibly could have. I think a lot of that sauce is not only rewarded, but it's earned, especially with the way this story has gone. Every single season of Stranger Things has progressed and slowly built up a little bit. So the fact that we're getting Russians trying to reopen the gate, the fact that we have 3, maybe even 4 different storylines, different subplots all going together to work towards the same main mission, that is so Stranger Things in a nutshell at this point, that it's one of the biggest pros of this season in my opinion. Sure, I didn't go into this season expecting Bill to get possessed by the Mind Flayer and basically be his little cart that does all his bidding, but hell, I watched it and I was like, I guess that would kind of make sense, especially because we've already seen it happen with Will. Sure, it wasn't to the same level, but I mean, it didn't need to be to that same level. The kids have gotten stronger. Everyone has gotten smarter. Our information about the Upside Down has gotten sharper. You feel what I'm saying? The Mind Flayer / Vecna, who we know is controlling the Mind Flayer, needed to be more strategic and needed someone stronger than just Will's little frail ass body if he wanted to cause some real damage. The Mind Flayer, the Russians, the reopening of the gate causes so many different mini subplots. And I think that all of them, some are better than others, obviously, but I think all of them are so interesting, and seeing all the subplots connect at the last episode, the finale, is always one of the most satisfying parts of Stranger Things, in my opinion, that we have grown to be accustomed to and grown to love, at least most of us. I do think of those subplots, I think the Robin, Dustin, Steve, and Erica storyline is probably one of my favorite storylines in all of Stranger Things. It is so entertaining to watch. It's starting from them just trying to figure out the code, them in the ice cream shop, them searching over the mall trying to figure out what is going on, them getting stuck in the elevator, rescuing them from the Russians, Steve and Robin, I'm fucking out here yapping like a salesman. Steve and Robin getting drugged and having their conversation with each other that leads to their conversation in the bathroom. Everything about this subplot is top 3 subplots in the entire show. Go argue with a wall. Speaking of subplots, shout out my nigga Alexi, man. Stranger Things has a nice affinity when it comes to bringing in a character for one season that you fall in love with that ends up being a fan favorite just for them to murk them off, bruh. Nah, we're gonna keep the entire main cast. We'll bring in somebody that you like though, just so you can see them get murked. Well, don't worry, we'll satisfy your needs, trust me. It's actually ridiculous, man. My nigga Alexi deserved better. He was just trying to earn a Woody Woodpecker, bruh. Sad. I already briefly mentioned it. I don't think this should personally be a hot take in my opinion, but I think that season 3 of Stranger Things' finale is the top 3 episode of the entire series. It is one of the most entertaining hour and a halves you will ever experience in your life, no matter how many times you've seen it. From the beginning, with everyone finally meeting up and learning the plan and figuring out what they're going to do to stop the Mind Flayer, to the invading of the Russians, to the never-ending story, to the ending and how gut-wrenching, heart-throbbing, how sad it is, how tear-inducing it is. It's just the perfect episode of television. It's a 20 out of 10 episode. It's that simple. A show like Stranger Things to have 2 strong ass seasons and then for it to have a 3rd season that's not as strong, or just as strong I should say, but it's also so rewatchable, it's actually insane. All that being said, man, in my humble opinion, I think that season 3 of Stranger Things has to be taken as the best season of the series. If you don't agree, man, let's talk about in the comments down below. What do you think is the best season of Stranger Things? What don't you like about season 3? What do you like about season 3? Let's talk about it in the comments down below, because you know we got to talk about it. Simple.